Welcome to Realtors Roulette. Join Nichole, Elisha, and John as they uncover untold stories, insider tips, and hidden truths about real estate. Get ready to enjoy this episode coming to you from the beautiful Qu'Appelle Valley in Saskatchewan.
What we do if you were the client, our own real estate confessions.
Welcome back to Realtors Roulette with Authentic Realty. I'm Elisha.
I'm Nichole.
And I'm John. And today we're doing something a little different. We're putting ourselves in the hot seat.
We spend all day telling clients what to do, what to offer, how to price, what to fix, when to move. But today the question is, what would we do if we were the ones buying or selling?
This is the insider stuff, the stuff we talk about over coffee, not just in client meetings.
So if you've ever wondered what a realtor actually thinks when they're not in the professional mode, this is that episode, guys.
We're getting personal, we're getting honest, and we might even admit to a few things we wish we'd known earlier.
Okay, guys, let's go. So the first segment is going to be if we were buying right now.
Okay, buying first. If you woke up tomorrow and you were buyer entering this market, what does your strategy look like? Nichole, how about you go first?
Okay, so the first thing I do, and I do this before I looked at a single listing, is get really brutally honest with myself about the difference between what I want and what I actually need. Because I think a lot of buyers go into the market with a wish list that's built on Instagram or Pinterest, not their actual daily life.
So true. So what would be on your non-negotiable list, quote unquote?
Location relative to where I spend my time. That's probably my number one. A beautiful home that adds 45 minutes to your day or every day. The cost adds up in ways that don't show on the price tag. So commuting is something that you want to keep in mind.
Especially with fuel at $1.
Yeah, no. After that, probably I want good bones to the house, and I can always change paint. I can update a kitchen. I can't move a house or fix a foundation cheaply.
So what would you compromise on?
Probably cosmetics. Almost everything cosmetic. If a home is dated but is solid in the right location, I'm in. I'd rather fight past ugly countertops and compromise on something structural.
My approach would be to get that pre-approval first and then actually live inside that number mentally before I started shopping. Because there's a big difference between what you're approved for and what you're actually comfortable with long term. I see buyers max out their pre-approval constantly, and then they feel stretched for years.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Just because you're pre-approved for $250,000 doesn't mean you need to spend $250,000.
True. I'd also be paying really close attention to the carrying costs beyond the mortgage. Nikki's always on that budget. Property taxes, utilities, maintenance, the full picture. And what I know about this market, it moves fast. And when the right one comes up, buyers who hesitate and sleep on it, they lose homes. So if I'd done my homework up front, I wouldn't need to sleep on it.
Good. That's awesome point. Mine would purely be strategic. I'd look at the neighborhoods that are on their way up, not already there, because by the time everybody's talking about how great a neighborhood is, the price is already reflected. I want to be in the conversation a little earlier.
What does on the way up look like particularly?
Well, and this is more, the city end of things, but new businesses moving in, infrastructure improvements, young families starting to appear, homes being renovated rather than just sold as is. Those are the signals I would look at. And in a smaller market like ours, those shifts are actually very readable if you're paying attention.
So that is the advantage of working with someone who's in this market every single day. You know the neighborhood and at a level that no app can give you.
So part two, if we were selling right now, okay, we're going to put our seller's hat on. Same question. If you were listing your home tomorrow, what would you actually do?
Well, first thing, I'd call a realtor, obviously. But genuinely, even knowing what I know, the first thing I'd want to do is an objective set of eyes on my home. Because you become blind to your own space, even nose blind. And that feels cozy. It might feel cramped to someone else or cramped to a buyer. You need to talk to someone who can walk in cold and tell you the truth.
And what would you actually do to prepare your home?
I'd ruthlessly declutter. Before anything else, before staging photos, I'd get the stuff out. storage units, friend's garage, whatever it takes, because no amount of good photography fixes can make a home look less full. I deep clean, not tidy, but deep clean. Hire someone if you have to. Get the baseboards done, the windows, the grouts, everything like that buyers can touch and smell.
And I think Alicia's made a good point before we go into the next section, is that having a professional clean is probably one of the best things you can do
100%.
before you list your house, just because everyone's level of clean is different. But for me, like if I'm going to sell my house, I'm going to get somebody to come in there and do a 3-day spring clean, no matter how clean you are, And renovations?
Well, I'd be very selective. I wouldn't gut a kitchen before listing. I'd focus on things that immediately are noticeable, like fresh, neutral paint, updated light fixtures, good hardware on the cabinets, high visual impact but low cost. The big renovations rarely come back dollar for dollar.
And for myself, pricing. That's the one I strongly feel about. I would base price based on data and nothing else. Not what I paid for, not what my neighbor thinks it's worth, not what I need to buy my next home for. What the market says it's worth right now, period.
And not necessarily what's listed, because until something sells, it's just a price.
100%, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and so many times you meet with somebody and they're like, hey, Jake down the street has his place listed. Well, yeah, what did it sell for though?
And that's hard for sellers emotionally sometimes to just let go of their property. So
it's I agree, it's very hard. But overpricing is the single most expensive mistake a seller can make. And we've all seen it. You know, you lose momentum in those critical first weeks, you end up chasing the market down, and usually you net less than if you priced it right from day one.
My add to the selling conversation is I would trust the process and not micromanage the marketing. I see sellers who want to improve every photo, rewrite every description, control every showing window. And I understand the impulse. It's your home, it's personal, but you've hired us for a reason, so let us do our job.
That's a hard thing to let go of.
It is, but the sellers who trust the process and stay out of their own way consistently have better outcomes every time.
Yeah, on to segment 3, what we wish we'd known earlier.
This is the last, but far from the least. I think that might be the most valuable segment of this whole episode for people listening. What do you know now that you wish you'd known at the start of your career?
Well, mine is about emotion. I used to think my job was purely transactional. Find the home, negotiate the deal, close it. I was good at the mechanics, but I underestimated how emotional this process is for people. Buying or selling a home isn't just a financial transaction. It's tied to the life stages, family decision, grief sometimes, and huge hope. The clients who seem difficult they're often just scared.
How did that change how you work?
Well, I slow down more, I ask more questions, and I try to understand what's really going on before I give advice. You got to know where people are coming from, because sometimes the best thing I can do isn't explain the market. It's just to listen for a few minutes.
Yeah, mine is probably more tactical, honestly. Earlier on, I thought I needed to have every answer for everything on the spot. Clients ask a question, I give an answer, and sometimes give a confident answer when I should have just said, let me look into it and I'll get back to you.
I hear you. You know, it's pressure to seem like you know everything.
Exactly. And what I've learned is that I don't know, but I can find out. Builds way more trust than a confident answer that turns out to be wrong. Clients don't need you to be an encyclopedia. They need you to be honest and thorough.
And truthfully, mine is about patience. Like I know specifically earlier on in my career, I think I pushed, sometimes too hard. I could see the right move clearly, and I'd get frustrated when clients hesitated or second guessed.
And now?
Now with some age and some years in the market, I understand that their timeline is not mine. My job is to give them the information, lay out the options clearly, and then give them the space to decide. But the thing of it is, in today's market, it is a little accelerated. But people make better decisions when they feel supported and not pressured. So there's that fine line, and they come back to you and they send their friends to you. And when they feel like you're respecting their pace. So
that's a long game. The business is built on relationships and referrals. Every client you take care of properly is 10 future clients. And I can contest to that this year because I've seen a lot of people that I sold them their home 5-6 years ago coming back to me this year to list, probably more than a lot of years in the past. So yeah, that's always a good feeling when a past client comes back.
And the ones that you do rush or push, they don't come back and they don't send any people.
So the advice I'd give my younger self walking into the first deal is slow down, listen more. Remember that this is the biggest transaction most people will ever make. Treat it like it is.
That's it right there.
Well, that's a wrap on today's episode. Our most personal one yet, I think.
So if you're a buyer or seller and you want a team that will give you the real answer, not just the easy one, we'd love to hear from you.
We've been doing this long enough to know what works, and more importantly, what doesn't. Come have a conversation with us.
Thank you for tuning in to Authentic Realty's podcast. Follow, review, and share this episode to spread the knowledge. To connect with your favorite local realtors, call 306-695-HOME.